Well, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Lucore Automotive. Today, clearly we are not starting our day at Lucore Automotive. We're at Jegs, which is not planned part of the day. It is Thursday, one day before No Name National starts, and I have to be in Sikeston, Missouri this evening, so I can be there first thing in the morning tomorrow. However, yesterday I was getting the Pontiac all situated, ready to go, and fixed some problems. I think we're good to go as far as the belt issues go and everything else. I think our oil blow-by issue is fixed, which is great. Went out for a test drive, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and wheel came off. Yeah. So if you follow me on Instagram, LucoreRacing, you would have seen a little bit of this. But previously I'd had an issue with my left rear wheel was a little bit loose. Not sure exactly who did the torquing on the left rear wheel before, but I think it damaged my threads on my studs, and it damaged the bores that the studs go through on the wheel. So the wheel, I believe, was wobbling a little bit more. I couldn't feel it, but I believe it was wobbling. Walked my lug nuts off, and then they just exited stage left. So I ended up stuck on the in the middle of the road on Cemetery, which was not good. Tow truck came. $200 later, I got my car back to the shop. But lug studs are destroyed. Lug nuts are missing. Wheel is destroyed. So I'm going to start my day here at Jegs and see if they happen to have a wheel that I can use to replace my riddlers in the rear. If not, I'm going to see if I can find a set of riddlers today to be able to put on that car. And yeah, that's how the day's going to start today. So good morning. Welcome to Lucore Automotive. Let's fix some shit before we got to get on the road. I got a 7.5 hour drive today that way. But first, I got to fix stuff. There's the man himself working. So here's our wall of wheels here at Jegs. Many options, many of which are in stock. What's interesting me is maybe something along the lines of something like a snowflake wheel. Classic Pontiac type stuff. See if they have something that'll fit me. Maybe. A snowflake wheel would probably look pretty good on the back of that thing. And if we can get in a 15x8, that means I can take my tires, my Cooper Cobras that don't have a ton of miles off them, off those wheels, transfer them over onto a new set of wheels. Lug nuts, studs, ARP studs, with a longer bolt, better engagement, and then we got to go. So the question is whether or not they have them. Hopefully here, not at the warehouse. If they're at Fitman. Yeah. That's it. That's the idea. So as Terry's off the phone, we'll see what we can figure out. What we got?
Two. Count them. 2 15x8 snowflakes.
Okay.
The actual color of snow and ice, silver. So
15x8, so I can use my tires.
So you can use your tires.
But you don't have them here. Hey! Hey!
Kind of hard to get along with.
Right? Jeez! Let me see those things. Let's see it. All right, well, I guess here's a question. What would look better? Silver on silver or silver on gold on that car?
Well, it's Christmas time, I'd get silver on gold, but it's not, so I'd get silver on silver.
I think those would look better.
I think they would look 100% better, yes, sir.
Okay.
Gold ones look good on certain TA.
Right. Especially a yellow car. A yellow and rust car with rust
car.
with gold wheels would probably look a little weird.
Yeah.
Might look a little weird.
Yeah. They look good on black Trans Am.
Yeah, they look great. I bet they'd look really great on a black Trans Am. Unfortunately, they're not here in stock at the show at the store, so I got to run up to the warehouse to go pick them up. But it is what it is. No big deal. run up to Delaware, pick up some wheels, run over to the shop, get the car in the air, get all the surgery started so I can get on the road. My trip is already getting expensive. It's okay. It could have been a lot worse. Wheel could have come off
Could have been a whole
at
lot
75 miles an hour going down the interstate. Wheel could have come off when I went the exit ramp and I took a turn. The wheel could have come off and I could have ended up. It could have been a lot worse.
Come off right before you get to resume speed.
Yeah,
Misery.
right. So this could have been a lot worse. And yes, I did chuck my lug nut torque. Just for those who are asking, I did check my lug nut torque. They did torque down. However, the damage on these things, you can see. I'll show you. You can see that the wheel was probably not centered and it was walking around on those studs a little bit. So, lesson learned. It is what it is. There we go. Some year ones. We're gonna get a little bit more stylish. Thank you, boys. Appreciate it. Well, there she is. Ain't those a looker? So these are 15 by 8s, so they should be exactly the same size as my Riddlers are. I have no idea if these are going to look great or stupid on my car. We'll see. And then I've got ARP studs and conical seat nuts that are open because these studs are considerably longer than my stock ones. So this way I can run the nut down and have some protruding stud, which again may or may not look stupid. But there we go. Year 1 15 by 8 Snowflake silver. Cool. Let's get this done. Here's Pontiac. It's expensive when you only go 15 miles and it costs you $200. But here's my offending wheel. And I got one of them little stupid guys. The studs are there. Can't really tell, but there's a lot of damage to the bore around the wheel there. I'm gonna get this thing fired up. We'll get it pulled in the shop, pull the wheels off, and I can show you more precisely what exactly happened here. And then we'll get this resolved. By the way, no choke, so takes a minute. Man, it sounds good though, doesn't it? Pipes. That exhaust note is fantastic. I love it. So good. What we did last night to get this thing loaded on the tow truck actually was a gentleman showed up with a rolling jack. We just threw it into the corner here, and I stole some lug nuts from the other two front wheels. Got one from there. And one from there. And we tossed those on the rear, along with this random nut to get this wheel to stay on. But as you can see, there's damage to the seats on these wheels. So, while yes, it did torque down, this whole thing was probably not centered quite right, so it was kind of wobbling. And then as it wobbles, it's going to knock stuff loose, back those lug nuts out.
And there wasn't, I mean, there was enough engagement there to be on there fine, but you know, as soon as they start getting loose, they're just going to keep getting looser and looser. So it is what it is. Unfortunately, that wheel at least is destroyed. And you can see here on the inside of the wheel the damage to that seat. It's just like, so it's just, I mean, it's just bad. This wheel's destroyed, unfortunately. So 15 by 8 Riddler with I don't know, a couple hundred miles on it since I bought it, brand new, gone, toast, whatever, is what it is. And if you look at the studs, you can see thread damage on all of them. So, you know, it's all bad. So let's put some new super duper ARPs in here. Get this party started. This is the wheel from the other side. You can see the faces are nice and clean. The threads are, you know, she's not messed up. And the studs are fine. These guys are good. These guys are not. Also, while we're back here, yeah, I could probably stand with some suspension upgrades. Probably. Maybe we'll put that in the cards for sometime in the near future. Yeah, this has actually got, I mean, there's threads actually cut into these wheels. I'm not a tire changing tech. Don't do what I do.
William, W.
One. Okay, yeah, do that again. And put them on the other wheels. Back in a minute. Alright, now let's see if I can not screw up my brand new year one wheel.
screw this up. Nope, it's gonna be fine. Here's some lube. Rich actually brought up a important point here. While, yes, these tires and wheels have not been on this car for very long, they have been sitting on my 68 Le Mans, which you guys have never seen, in the backyard for the last like 5 or 6 years. So they've been on here for a minute.
I think the date code's 2017.
It's fine. It's like they're brand new.
They're brand new.
Freshly flat spotted. Important lesson to be learned here, kids, is don't buy wheels and tires for your car before you finish the project. Otherwise, your $1,500 worth of wheels and tires just sit in the backyard rotting and flat spotting. Piece of cake. Don't forget to put your valve stem in. Giuseppe, skip a step. I did definitely pick the hottest day of the week to do this. Been like 70 and perfect all week, and I choose a day that's 85 degrees to do this. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And no, I did not test fit these wheels on my car, because I'm going to generally assume that they fit. And you know what they say about assumption. It's a great idea. Thank you. Dave with the assist. The annoying thing is, if this looks good, I'm going to have to go buy more wheels. When I get back, I'm going to have to buy the fronts. I don't know if I had this on camera or not, but this has got a pretty flat lip. It's maybe like a 15-degree angle. But otherwise it's pretty flat, that dish. These have a considerably sharper angle on them, so the dish doesn't look nearly as deep. One of them doesn't have one of those. Got me one of those. Doesn't have one of these. Got kind of one of these. You know what I mean? Alright. Let's get these things balanced and get them back. Oh no, then I still got all the hard work to do, which is pulling new lug studs on this thing. Hot. Feels pretty good.
This actually might be hilarious. 6-year-old flat spotted tires on brand new wheels. Road force of 39, huh? Well, we're gonna just ignore that. Did it with my nose? Okay. So, got a road force of 39 as it sits. If I rebalance the assembly, it'll be at 35, which is still terrible. So, not worth it.
Yeah, it's an old crappy tire, don't worry about it.
Right. It's a 6-year-old tire that's been sitting in the backyard, so we're not going to worry about it. Let's skip that step. Well, the wheel looks perfectly circular, so that's nice. Oh, that's a lot of weight. Terrible, but still balanced. Here's a question. If I do some big smoky burnouts and burn the top layer of this tire off, does it fix some of that? Get rid of the flat spotting by burning them down, like half a tread. Does that fix them?
See how boogered up those threads are. They gone. That's essentially the aluminum of the wheel that is now stuck inside those threads.
Well, I think the drum's off on this side, yes.
Yeah, drum's not off over here.
It will be.
Sometimes you got to give Rich a brute force job.
Now I've gone down. Now that there's a posi in there, you're gonna need to put it in park or in drive. I mean, neutral, you mean? Are those long enough?
Well, rather hit the bottom than not.
Jeez. You're not gonna be able to put those in without pulling the axles.
So we need to go to a shorter.
Yeah, you can't put those in.
I wonder
without
if there's one
pulling
that.
the axles.
I wonder if there's one between this and these length and those length.
That's a bit excessive.
Yeah.
But you'll use this with a lug nut,
Yeah.
and that'll press it back in.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little much.
It's a little excessive.
We don't maybe need all that.
Bye. Off to Jegs you go.
Hi ho, hi ho. I mean, I'd rather get there than not get there, but that's maybe a little extra. So, yeah, let's go back to Jegs. For those
keeping score at home, it is
You get pretty close.
3 o'clock.
Maybe if you can work.
I'm supposed to be leaving 2 hours ago, give or take. Well, I recruited a chauffeur, and he's got air conditioning. There's Carrie. It's nice. I like air conditioning. Need to buy something that's got air conditioning. So we're back at Jags. Gotta get slightly smaller studs. Too big of a stud. And hopefully Terry's still here. If not, all these guys are wonderful. Let's go spend some money at Jags, shall we? Oh. And the man's back there on the phone. Hi, Miss Kimmy. Terry doesn't believe me that I'm too big a stud.
Too big a stud.
Bet you never have that problem.
No.
So,
These are the neural size too big.
yes, and the stud is too long. That's what comes out of it.
Okay.
I need something that's between this length and this length, so I can draw it through. Otherwise, I got to pull the axles out of
That's
this
what
thing.
she said.
Right. And I got to get the right knurl size.
Okay.
And you can make it happen.
I can make it happen. We can do that.
All right. We got ourselves a wiener here. There's our new one. There's our old one. And that's just too much stud. That's just right. You can also see the knurl's different there. So, Mr. Terry's got us all squared away. Time to go back to work. Back at the shop. For those keeping track at home, it is 4:25 p.m. See that? Trust me, it's 4:25. So, got my new, slightly shorter, well, lots shorter, but slightly longer than my stalker guys. So we need to pull these guys into their holes, get these wheels on, get them torqued down, and then I've got a very, very long drive to do. Come on, get in your hole.
Give me 5. Do the other side.
For those of you who've never done this before, get this little tool here. This little guy here sits in here, and basically you just tighten it up, and it draws it flush to the face, and you've installed your lug nuts, or your lug studs. So you just use an older lug nut, because sometimes you do end up pulling the threads out of this when you're pulling it tight. But pretty easy process.
You had to get the big influencer?
Yeah. And yes, you could do this with an Ooga Dooga gun, but I'm not really a power tools kind of guy.
Also, there's a potential you could warp the lip.
All right. I don't know if you can get that, but look flush to you on the back?
Almost, yeah.
That's flush.
Let me see. Yep, that's flush.
Okay, I'll just do that 9 more times.
How's it going so far, Austin?
Gold 1.
Only 1 is not bad. Oh, you know what? I should have told you to buy extra while we were there. I had that thought. I had that exact specific thought, and I didn't think to do it.
Well, hopefully we can run a chaser down it and fix those threads.
Yeah.
It's just on the very tip, and there's a lot of thread there, so we'll see.
So you're saying it's on the tip, right?
Just the tip.
It's just the most sensitive part?
It's just the tip. Alright, and don't pull that too hard or pull threads out. Yeah, that one's fine.
See, it's not hot either. Well, not as hot.
We're almost to the point of being able to put wheels back on this car.
At least on this side.
Right on time.
Right on time being 10 minutes till 5.
Thanks for telling me that.
Sorry. Hey, what are friends for, man?
Yeah, thanks. Don't you have a car show to go to or something?
This is way more entertaining.
I doubt you can even see that, but maybe.
I actually can. I could zoom in. I could probably even get it. There it is.
Okay.
You can do it. Put your back into it. Yeah, go grab the lugs.
Got my one mar already on the surface. Came out of the box that way. Year one. Yeah, that's just tire mounted boogers.
Yeah. Well, time to torque them down. We doing it the torque wrench way?
I don't
or-
hate them.
No, I actually like them a lot.
It's gonna be interesting to see. So the question's really gonna be, do I buy 2 more for the front
Yeah.
and just get rid of the Riddlers on this car and run these? Or do I, when I get back, find a set of Riddlers for the rear and put new tires on it? Or if I am going to do upgraded brakes on this car, do I go up to a 17, which I can get in this type, and allows me to put a much bigger brake in the front and in the rear, because I can do like a 13-inch disc instead of a 10.5-inch or an 11-inch disc.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the way this car is going to go. If it's going to go tubular control arms and all the bells and whistles and upgraded brakes, does it make sense to just go to a larger wheel? But then I'm also probably not going to run something like this. I'm going to run more of like a modern tire. So I don't know.
Decisions.
Decisions. Situation. Galled one of them pulling it through. I knocked it out. It's on the ground. I tried cutting the head of it off and trying to redo it that way. That's not going to work. So I need another one. Talked to Terry at Jegs. He gave me a part number that's probably basically the same thing. I can run this with 4 lugs on it at this point in time, and I'm not real worried about it. I can get to Napa. I can get another one of these things, and then get my butt on the road and just be cognizant of the fact that I'm only running 4 in the rear on one wheel. And then when I get to Sikeston, I can convince somebody to let me borrow a jack and tools and reinstall one more of these things. That's the plan, because it is currently, for those keeping track at home, 5:27. I need to get on the road hours ago. So I'm going to steal Rich's little tool for pulling lug studs,
It's in my hand.
and that's the plan. Hopefully there's no more excitement between here and there, but we'll see. Thanks. Sikeston, here I come. Oh, by the way, I still have to run home and get all my stuff. So I got
And
another
run to Napa.
and run a nap. So I've still got at least another hour before I'm officially actually on the road headed west. But I'm coming. There you go, people. The torque is done. We are doing the torque. So if anybody asks, I have video evidence of me making sure my wheels are torqued. There you go. Tired. Oh, man.
on, baby.
Dude, those look hot. Yeah, I like
Broke my inner door handle. Shh. We're not gonna talk about it. All right. So I gotta run to Napa, get another stud. I've got extra nuts. I've got a wrench. I've got my socket. That's all I've got for spare parts and spare tools. That's it, man. Yeah. No big deal. All I gotta do is get from here to Sikeston. So I'll film some stuff between here and there. We'll end this video with me somewhere west of here. Whew. All right, folks. Hopefully we're done grabbing parts. Sir? I got 2 studs just in case. However, all I got's Dorman. I bought everything the Jegs had. I called Terry, and I have everything that they have in stock, so that's not an option. So, stopped by the local Napa and picked up the Dorman version of these things. Unfortunately, they're black, which sucks, but who cares? This is a go car, not a show car. So I also picked up an oil filter because I didn't have one of the little skinny ones for this thing. Yeah, so time to get home and get packed, get cleaned up because I'm disgusting, and then put many hours behind me headed west. As you can tell, the sun is starting to set right over yonder. It is 6:45 for those who are keeping track at home. Right on time. Well, for those of you who are keeping track at home, it is 7:45. I am right now headed west from downtown Columbus. I've got all my stuff, my clothes, my helmet, my lappy toppy, and all my digital stuff. That's it. We're on the road, buddy. I need to at least get a few hours under my belt tonight. I need to at least get west of like Indianapolis, which will take me till like 10 o'clock or so, 10:30. I don't want to burn it too late because I've got a long weekend ahead of me, but I need to at least put a few hours underneath my belt, get west of here. I'll drive until I start feeling like I don't want to drive, and then I'll just stop, figure out somewhere to stay. So, long day for sure. You know, that's how it goes, man. Sometimes that's just how it goes. I got a full tank of gas. The road is beautiful ahead of me, and I'm wearing sunglasses. Let's put some miles on us. Westbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what I should never do. Hello and goodbye, Dayton. All right, goodbye, Ohio. Welcome to Indiana. However, we have an interesting problem. Either this quadrijet is incredibly fuel efficient, and I haven't used any gas whatsoever getting all the way over here, or I may have a gauge problem. Son of a... All right. We're going to use this as an opportunity to check our fuel level, because I doubt I'm full. I have driven halfway across Ohio. I've never had issues with the fuel gauge in this car before. I love it. And I'm going to check the torque on my lug nuts, because I've driven 150 miles or so on them. And I need to make sure they haven't loosened themselves up, because then wheels fall off. And that's what we want to avoid that. So let's get some fuel, see how much I used. I actually have no idea what this thing gets for fuel economy, to be honest with you. So this is going to get very interesting. I guess I'm going to start doing some back of the napkin math on fuel economy, and yeah. But also, I don't know. My odometer and my speedometer are wrong, because I have a different gear set in this, and we didn't change the gear from a 2 something to a 336 that's in it now. So my mileage is off too. Well, just another challenge. All right, that's about as topped off as I can get it. So 10 gallons, $44. I believe when I topped off by the shop, I think I got about 15 gallons. So I used up at least half a tank of gas. So fuel gauge is off. Great. Now I got to figure out mileage. Let's figure that out. The nice thing with these guys, with these new lug nuts and studs, is I can actually see if they've backed off at all visually, and they're all good, but I'm going to check them anyway just to make sure. And yes, that is a hole where there is not a nut or a stud. I'll deal with it later. Been a long day. All right, let's check our torques, make sure we're good. All right, so mileage-wise, I've gone 135 miles since I filled up. 10.1 gallons, so 13 miles a gallon, something like that. So figure I need to go 150 miles per tank, give or take. Should be safe, which means I can get to the other side of Illinois, or the other side of Indiana, all the way to Illinois, before I need fuel. I believe that is correct. Let's see here, 70 west. Yes, sir. Here we go. Let's settle in for some miles. 90s country and a muscle car. What more do you need? Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Indianapolis, Indiana, where they have finally decided to complete the bridge on I-40, so you could just go through the city. Isn't that beautiful? Actually, a wonderful, wonderful fall night out here. It is like probably 65 degrees and perfect. Love it. Fun little city here, Indianapolis. We'll be back here in a not too distant past or future for PRI.
Still burning off some oil from the oil change I finished last night. Also rerouted my PCV breather. That may be part of that as well. No problems. Oil pressure's good, like 40 psi while I'm running down the road under throttle. No problems. Temperature's 190 degrees, no problems. Let's check my nuts. Nut check, nut check, nut check, nut check. Everything's beautiful. Hey, look at that. 9 gallons, 9.5 gallons. So actually, my fuel economy is better than I thought. This is beautiful Terre Haute, Indiana, by the way. And from here to Richmond, which is where that's obnoxious. From where I am now to Richmond, which is where I got gas before, is 142 miles. So I actually got better than 14 miles a gallon at this. All right, fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's top this sucker off. We'll keep rolling. Probably be calling it quits here shortly. Man, that's really obnoxious. All right, 48 bucks for the gas. Gas is actually more expensive here. 9.78 gallons, I call it. So 10 gallons, 140 something miles, so 14 miles per gallon. What's funny is that's exactly what I got when I had my more freeway friendly 2-something gears in here versus the 336s. I didn't technically really lose any fuel economy, which is impressive. You know, when you figure this thing is 461 cubic inches of displacement, and it's sipping through a it's still carbureted, it's a quadrijet. You know, 14 miles a gallon is pretty respectable. Anyway, let's get back on the road. Probably not much longer because I need to call it a quits and edit this video so you guys have something to watch on Friday. But Poncho's just doing fine. Just fine. Just a beautiful, beautiful drum beat, isn't it?
Alright, let's get a little bit west of here, find ourselves a place to stay for the night. Call it quits so I can edit this sucker. How do I get out of here?
Alright folks, well welcome to the Super Sketchy 8 here in Marshall, Illinois. Tipped over the edge here from Indiana into Illinois by a couple of 100 feet. And I'm in a wonderful, wonderful place. It's, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. As long as my car's still there in the morning, it's fine. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up here. I'm gonna start editing this video so you guys can watch this Friday. By the time you watch this, I will have enjoyed myself at day 1. I am about 3.5 hours, I believe, from Sikeston. So I'll put myself there late morning. No big deal. Get myself registered and teched and all that kind of stuff, and we'll go do some race car stuff. Hopefully the car is going to be fine. We'll check everything out in the morning. We'll see how that's all going. All 4 wheels are currently still attached to the car, which is a bonus. Definitely better than it started the day. So there you go. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of jazz. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Take care. Bye-bye. No big deal. Get myself registered and teched and all that kind of stuff, and we'll go do some race car stuff.